Plugs in the software, flash the message. Something's out there floating in the summer sky. 99 red balloons go by. What is going on? JR here at JR's Bottom Line. Today is Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. Welcome to my podcast. We got a lot of stuff to cover here tonight. First things first, I hope everyone's been making a lot of money these last couple of months. Hopefully you have remained profitable during my absence. As advertised, I told you guys at the end of May, I was going to be stepping away for a month or two to handle some personal business in my life, but we are back and it is time to make some money, okay? Most of you came over from my sports bet group on Facebook. Some of you have been with me since the very start. Others have joined along the way. But for those of you who are new to the program, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. This is my very first attempt at a podcast solo edition, okay? I have been featured as a guest on previous podcasts in the past, but this solo venture, this is all new to me. I'm the talent, okay? I am not an AV nerd. I'm not the technician, so you got to bear with me. I threw all this together, and this is episode 001. You might as well call this the pilot version of JR's Bottom Line. Episode 001. Got everything set up for the most part, I hope. We got the microphone set up. I can already tell the laptop camera is going to need to be upgraded significantly. It looks like the video image of this looks like a flip phone, and I'm going to probably have to upgrade that to some kind of a 4K program or camera soon. But at least if you're watching from episode number 1, you can see the transition over time. Bear with me, it will get better over time. It's just a matter of a learning curve and learning some of this technology to ultimately make my podcast better, okay? So a little background about me and my betting service. I first took a notice of sports betting way back in 2016, way before it was the cool thing to do, before it was legal in all 50 states where you could just log into your FanDuel from your phone while you're sitting in study hall and throw a quick bet on a tennis match at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Way before all that. 2016 came around, and I had some guys that I was bowling league with, and they had some bookies they used to bet some sports with. I knew nothing about sports betting. I didn't know that there were spreads and totals, and if the Browns were playing the Steelers and you took the Steelers, that you had to give 18 points, because back then that's typically what the Steelers would beat the Browns by. And this was all new to me. So in 2016, I started to get into it a little bit, started to take some notes. I've always watched sports. I had no idea how to bet or gamble on it. And in 2017, a group on the Android system came out with an app called FunBet. Any of you guys ever heard of FunBet? Any of you ever used FunBet? It doesn't exist anymore. It's gone. They ran out of funding, and it was killed. It was a casualty of COVID, actually. But FunBet was a really cool app. It was specifically on the Android system. They never launched it on the Apple side for your Apple store. And what it was free. It was fake credits, so it was imaginary money, and you would start with $500 or $1,000, and there were leaderboards, and there were special contests for the weekend, and basically you would bet as much or as little as you would like, and they would manually input all the lines for all the games, and then they would manually rate them at the end of the day, and then that's how they'd pay you your money or whatever. There was thousands of people in this app. I could tell from the development standpoint that they had their hands full. It was a lot of work. Now, you could buy fake money to, let's say you ran out of money and you could, can't bet if you don't have any fake money. So you had two options. You could whip out your credit card, and for $5 or $10, they would re-ante up for like 15 or 20,000 fake chips, or you could watch ads. And I think they gave you $500 per ad, whatever it came out to be. Anyways, long story short, I spent the entire year in 2017 on this app. Every single day, I was betting baseball, I was betting football. I was really getting the hang of it and really just more or less becoming a sponge. Figure out how to bet these games, how to look at the lines, how to read the lines, I'm never going to say the term outsmart Vegas, but at least look at the lines that Vegas is giving you and see if you can spot the tells. Because Vegas tries to tell you every single day. They try to tell you, based off how the numbers and the lines are coming back at a specific game, how to bet that game. If you can figure out those tells, you're going to make a lot of money betting sports. So I had downloaded the app, I played around with it for all of 2017 and learned the ins and outs of sports betting. So fast forward a couple years, BetMGM opened up in the fall of 2020 here in Southeast Michigan, Detroit. Detroit's about an hour north of me. It's a quick drive to Detroit to become a degenerate for a weekend or an hour, depending on how much time you have. But the fall of 2020, the sportsbook officially opened in all three of the big casinos in Detroit. BetMGM has always been my go-to for all my degenerative gambling needs, so it made sense to go to the BetMGM Sportsbook. And a buddy of mine from back home and I went up there for a long weekend and sat there for 15 hours on a Saturday in November of 2020 and watched probably 75 college football games. And it was magical. I'll never forget that day at the sportsbook. We were there all day and we won some money, we lost some money. It was the year that Clemson and Notre Dame were playing, if you remember. Now, this was COVID, so the schedules were all kind of screwed up. But the Clemson Notre Dame game, I had bet a lot of money on it. And I ended up coming out on top. I bet the underdog. It was like plus 130 or 135. Made a ton of money. Ran over to the cage to cash it out. It was very exciting. So I knew moving forward that I was going to be doing this every single day. I needed better access to it. When these apps came out in the very beginning of 2021, I knew I had to sign up. So let's fast forward a couple months ahead of time. January of 2021, I'm sitting at my buddy's house. We're all sitting around his TV Saturday night. It's the huge Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor fight. We ordered it, and he lived in Ohio, so we all had to hop in his friend's SUV, crossed over the border, went a couple miles into Michigan, and created accounts, attached our credit cards and our bank accounts, deposited some money. BetMGM was giving all this money away. They all were. FanDuel, they were giving all this free money away. If you deposited money, they'd match it, whatever. There was a million different ways to collect the free money from the sports books in return, so you can become addicted and, the sports books someday try to make you homeless. So we had deposited some money, and I really had never bet any UFC before. I obviously knew who Conor McGregor was. I knew who Dustin Poirier was, and Dustin was plus 145, and I took my $500 deposit and threw it all on Dustin at plus 145 because, of course, if it lost, I was going to be getting a free bet back. So, yes, I was losing my money, but I was getting the 500 back, and if I bet that 500 again and it won, then I'd have my money back on a future bet. So, it seemed like a good gamble. We did it, and the rest is history. Dustin ended up winning the fight handedly, if you remember, and I ended up making $744 or whatever it came out to be, and that was it. That's all it took. We went on to make 485% return on investment in the following 3 months after that fight during the NBA season. I made another 300% ROI during the MLB that year and finished 2021 with a total of 787% return on investment. back then I wasn't really keeping track of units, but more so of return on investment. I was changing my betting sizes frequently. I was still tweaking my strategies to where we have came across and where we were at today. Okay, we've came a long way. I came across some groups on Facebook, very large with sports bettors, quickly realized just how uninformed the general population is when it comes to sports betting. And that's when I knew I had to I sleep in a lot. I had to step in and develop a service to help bettors win and keep their winnings and not give it all back to the sports books. These guys in these groups, they have no idea how to sports bet. And it's not just guys. I mean, there's people's wives in there, FanDuel and DraftKings and ScamDuel is what they call it, and all this and all that. And these people have no idea in general how to bet sports and win. Yeah, they'll win a parlay or they win a bet, and then they give it all back. And then they redeposit some more, and then they deposit some more. And I was in these groups for a couple months, and I'm just watching. Everyone's posting their plays. And I'm looking at these plays. I'm like, there's zero education involved with these plays. They're just literally looking at the board and flipping a coin. So I'm not incredibly aggressive with advertising my service, but I did hop into those groups and I decided, of course, to start JR's Bottom Line, which was founded in the summer of 2022. And since then, I've been posting my own plays. I come up with the daily card every day. I will throw my daily play card in there every now and then. I try not to post too much in those groups. The FanDuel group on Facebook, I think there's like 100,000 people in there. It is toxic as fuck. It is the most toxic Facebook group I've ever been in. I really try to stay away from it, but every once in a while I'll go fishing in there and I'll drop my card. And you know, if my card goes 3-0, then the next day I'll have 20 or 30 new followers in my group. So that's kind of how it is. So anyway, I want to get in a little bit into my betting MO. Okay, for those of you who've been with me from the beginning, you already know my MO. But for those of you that are new to my service, my MO is this. It's straight bets. I specialize in the main sports. MLB, college football, college basketball, NFL, NBA, and we're starting to open up a little bit into like the WNBA. I gave a couple plays out. I'm starting to get into PGA more. I really don't mess around too much with NASCAR. I'm a NASCAR fan. It's very challenging to bet on and be profitable. If I throw a bet on NASCAR, it's probably because I'm going to watch the entire race for whatever reason and I just want some skin in the game. I typically don't ever I don't expect to profit betting on NASCAR. It's too vast. There's too many variables. It's very hard to bet on and be right. The odds are tough. You know, if you're a NASCAR guy and you know who Ryan Blaney is, you might bet him for a top 10, but he might be minus 230. Well, you still got to beat 29 other drivers to get into a top 10. It's a tough bet, especially when you got to go 2.3 to 1 on your money just to make your unit back. It's a lot of money to be betting on a race. I'd rather typically bet it on a baseball game or whatnot. So my MO is straight bets. I specialize in the main sports. I primarily bet spreads, money lines, totals, over-unders. I dabble a lot with team over-unders, especially in the NBA and NHL. When it comes to baseball, I bet a couple other ways as well. I'm a huge fan of the no-run first inning. My no-run first inning hits, in May it hit north of 60%. I typically will look at starting pitching. I will look at where the game is being played at. I will look at what time of the day the game is being played at. And I will look at who the first 3 to 5 batters are in the lineup for both teams and try to articulate how I expect them to play during their first at-bat of the game. Because the fact of the matter is, if you get beyond the fifth batter in the first inning, there's probably going to be a run scored. So look at the first, 3 to 5 batters in the first inning for both teams and try to come up and see. I don't think a run's going to score in the first inning. I'll bet it. I do pretty well with that. I bet a lot of first 5 inning money lines and first 5 spreads in baseball. I love betting starting pitching. The bullpen is a wild card. If you can eliminate the bullpen from your bet, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take the first 5 of a game? Take the bullpen out of it. I love betting first 5s. I'm going to tell you what you're not going to get out of me. Ever. Ever. So don't ask. You're never going to get a fucking player prop from me. Ever. I do not bet players. I bet teams. The only time I bet a player is if I'm betting a sport that doesn't have teams. PGA, UFC, boxing. That's it. Everything else is team betting. I could give a shit how many points LeBron James is going to have tonight. Anthony Davis over on assists, rebounds, totals. I don't care about any of that. I'm not betting players. I'll bet a team when the star isn't even playing in the game because I'm betting the team and not so much the player. The player is replaceable. Obviously, there's exceptions. But with that being said, I'm betting on the team to perform, not the individual player. I will not bet a player prop. If I give you a player prop, it may be less than 1% of the time, and it's got to be something I absolutely love, because otherwise I'm not giving it out. I do not do player props. I do not do parlays, 10-leg tickets, lottery tickets, junk. It's all junk. We did 143 bets in the month of May, and I'll get to that in a minute. Out of the 143 bets, 3 of them were parlays in the month of May. And my parlays were only 2 and 3 leggers. I consider a 2-game parlay as a parlay. I may call it a combo. It's still technically a parlay, but that's about the extent of what I'm going to give you for a parlay. So if you're here and you're looking for the guy that's going to give you an 8, 10, 20, 57 leg player prop parlay, just go back to the FanDuel site. That's all that group is about, is 57 leg parlays. You're not going to get that shit from me, okay? I stress a couple things. I stress discipline and money management. Always. Don't bet large just because it's the Super Bowl. It's just another game. I may bet an NBA game on Saturday and then turn around and bet the exact same amount on the Super Bowl 12 hours later. It's just another game. Don't buy into the hype. It's the World Series. It's the NBA Finals. It's the Super Bowl. It's the Daytona 500. It's the PGA Masters. Dude, stop. Cut the games. One unit, okay? Use your discipline. Use your money management. Let's see what else we got. Let's talk about May. I haven't given too many plays away the last couple months. Like I said, personally, my personal life got extremely chaotic. Some of you know I got married. I got married June 1st. We had a wedding. It was big. It was elegant. It was a good time. And, you get married and you need a couple months off from life to go do things with your wife. We did a honeymoon. We went down to Florida earlier this month. We were down there a week and a half. It was a great time. Weather was good. The wedding was beautiful. Some of you guys were at my wedding. Hopefully you guys all had a great time. I know I did. It was an awesome time, but it required some time off, and that's, part of the reason why I haven't been here for 2 months. I've given away, I think, 2 or 3 plays since my wedding. The last play I gave out was an absolute blowout winner on a baseball game on July 1st. I can't remember the bet. Go back to the Facebook page and look it up. It was a good bet. The month of May, however, we bet every single day. I gave plays out every single day, and I gave a very large sample size out. I wanted all my followers to see what I can do on a broad scale of games. We bet 143 games in the month of May. I typically, I'm going to give out 1 to 3 bets a day. So even if I gave out the max per day, you're looking at 90 bets a month. I'm never going to give you 140 bets in a month ever again. I specifically did this in May because I wanted everyone to see how I do long term and not just what can I do in 10 or 12 games. What is my last 20 game win rate? Fuck all that. People go on streaks all the time. I want to give you a large sample size. I gave you 153 games, and we went 84 and 59. 84-59, 58.7% win rate across the board. 143 games. Let's talk baseball. Baseball in the month of May. Did you bet baseball? Did you win betting baseball in the month of May? The first warmer month, second month of baseball. You're just now starting to figure out who's a pretender and who's a contender. And for the most part, you still don't know yet. You really don't know until Memorial Day weekend. Did you guys make money betting baseball in May? I'm telling you right now, if you bet my plays, you made a shit ton of money. I went 47-28 for 75 bets in Major League Baseball. 47-28. That's 62.6% win rate. There's not a handicapper in this country that hit baseball for 62% in the month of May. The guys that are selling their plays for $1,000 a pop, they're not hitting baseball 62% of the time. These guys on Instagram, these guys on YouTube, all these guys in Vegas, they call you, they text you with their phony ass 702 area code, even though they live in West Virginia. They're all frauds. Nobody hit baseball like I did in the month of May. 47-28. All posted, all verified. All plays were up front. And I gave every single kind of play out. I gave unders, I gave overs, I gave team overs, I gave team unders, money lines, spreads, no run first innings. I gave it all out. Excuse me. I gave it all out. Absolutely destroyed baseball in the month of May. Let's talk NBA. NBA playoffs the entire month of May. Went 18-14. 56%. NHL, month of May, playoffs. 13-11. 54%. 2-1 in the WNBA. I've never even bet a WNBA game before until the month of May. I only bet 3 games. I wanted to use a small sample size in the WNBA. I'm still learning how to bet it. Why should you pay for my on-the-job training? Why would I give you 10 NBA plays, WNBA plays? I need to practice too. So I'm giving you a small sample size because I'm going to learn with you. We went 2-1. My parlays went 2-1. I gave out 3. I can't remember what my parlays were. They weren't anything all that crazy. They were 2 and 3 leggers. I'm sure they were all plus odds, but we went 2-1. They weren't, plus 1,500. They were probably, between plus 150 and 250. That's if I'm normally putting a 2 or 3 legger together. That's about where I'm looking at. I'm picking favorites in my parlays. Absolutely. We went 0-1 in NASCAR. I made a NASCAR play. I remember the play. You probably remember the play. We took Ford as the manufacturer to win the race. Chris Buescher lost the race by 1/1000th of a second. That was a plus 625 bet. That's 6-1 on your money. These are the kind of plays that I give out that hit. If you've been with me for long enough, you know this. 84-59 for 143 bets. We went 58%. We made 43 units. 43 units in 1 month. I'm telling you right now, there's handicappers that will take your money every single month in the form of a subscription that won't get you 43 units in a calendar year. I did it in 30 days. $30, 43 units. It was a good month. Good month. Let's get rid of that. So what do we got in store for August? Well, we got a lot of MLB. A lot of Major League Baseball. This is the dog days of summer. There isn't a whole lot to bet on right now. If you're not good at betting baseball, this is not the month that you want to be betting sports. Fortunately for you, I am good at betting baseball, and we're coming out heavy in baseball, starting on the 1st. Couple things here, okay? You're going to ask, what's the play on the Hall of Fame game? You want to know what the play is on the Hall of Fame game on August 1st? It's do not fucking bet the Hall of Fame game. Are you out of your mind? Absolutely not. Don't do it. We do not bet preseason games, no scrimmages, no exhibitions. Do not bet preseason football. You're just giving your money away. Do not bet it. You have no idea who's going to play, how long they're going to play, how many series are they going to play. Are they going to run it? Are they going to pass it? Are they going to play defense? Why on God's green earth would you ever bet a game that has no meaning? It doesn't matter. It's not the Baltimore Ravens. They're not trying to become the preseason Super Bowl champions and win 27 straight preseason games in a row, which is a fluke to begin with. And one year they lost like 4 running backs just to do it, whether they were trying to or not. Don't bet preseason. Don't bet the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. Use a baseball play and just move on to the next day, okay? We got college football in for like 4.5 weeks. We got NFL within a month and a half, less than that. You got a couple weeks, and then boom, you got the NBA's back in October. You got the NHL, and then you got college basketball. And then it's like fucking Christmas, and then you got college football playoffs. That's it. That's it. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you're already too late. Christmas will be like next week. This year is going to fly from here on out. You got baseball this month, and then you got NFL and college football, and we are going to build your bankroll, okay? I will have a card Thursday morning. I may have 1, maybe 2 or 3 baseball games on there. That's all I'm going to have. We are going to shrink the betting size as far as how many games I'm giving out. I'm not giving out 143 games anymore. I'm giving out 1 to 3 a day, 30 to 90 a month, and anywhere in between that, okay? I'm excited. It feels good to be back. We're coming into the dog days here. Like I said, this is when sports handicappers lose a lot of money because they're just not good at betting baseball. Baseball, in theory, is the toughest sport to bet on, and I'm going to show you how to make money profiting on betting baseball. Let's take advantage of it. This is a very profitable time of the year for me. I excel in baseball, and I excel in college football. And if you have been with me from day one, you know how great I am at college football. You think I'm good at baseball? Wait till you see my college football plays. Holy shit, okay? Last but not least, for those of you who are new to this and new to my service is 100% free, okay? I'm never, ever going to reach out to you and ask you to pay for my plays. I'm not going to message you and ask for money. I do regularly attach my Cash App and my Venmo for tips, and I do greatly appreciate them because right now this is 100% funded on me. But the tips, they're not forced, I don't ask for them, and they're not expected. If I want you some money and you want to throw me a tip, by all means, please do. I will welcome it, and I will appreciate it, and I definitely will thank you for it, okay? Again, the plan is to have 2 or 3 of these a week, these podcasts. Right now, they are on film taped delay. Eventually, I'd like to go live with them so I could open up the comment section and interact with my followers and my fans. But at the moment, they are going to be taped and posted immediately after. This one, I'm filming this one. I don't know if I'm throwing it on YouTube. I don't know if I'm just going direct to Facebook. I guess we'll find out once I post it. But at any rate, there will be a comment section. If you have comments, if you have questions, all commentary is welcome in the comments. If my plays suck and I've lost you a bunch of money and you want to talk shit to me, I welcome it. But just have a reason to talk shit. Don't be the guy that keeps his mouth shut when I go 12-2 and then on a Sunday I go 0-2 and you want to run your mouth. I'm not going to take that lightly, and I will attack back. If I go 2-12, dude, by all means, man, throw all the shit you want at me. Completely destroy my image and my reputation. Because any sports handicapper that goes 2-12 probably should have his reputation handed to him. But if I go 12-2 and I lose 2 after that, don't talk shit. There's no room for that. You're going to talk shit, go to the FanDuel group, go follow someone else, go whip out your credit card and pay for someone else's shitty-ass service where they barely break 500 every single month, but they're taking 50 to 100 bucks a month out of your hard-earned wallet. Okay, is that fair enough? Let's get it.